Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel, and wow what an episode, episode 6 of Star Trek Picard, and here I am with my review for you. Let's talk about this episode. Okay, so like I said, welcome back to my review series for Star Trek Picard. I am reviewing it on a weekly basis. Keep that in mind when you want to hit that subscribe button. And let's talk about this episode. Now, this episode here, episode 6, is entitled The Bounty. As a Star Trek fan, especially of the original Star Trek and the films, as soon as I saw the episode was titled The Bounty, my mind went to the same place as yours did, and that is Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home, and the Klingon Bird of Prey, and what Kirk and his crew name it. Yes, and that does come into play. Now, this episode here opens on board the Shriek, and her captain is chewing up the scenery, killing one of her crew, and decides to go after a load of people that that Picard has dealings with in his past, loved ones, people that he's worked with, to try and get to Picard, to get to Jack Crusher. Why Jack? We don't know. We come to find out that Jack has his dreams and his visions, at the moment anyway, are to do with a congenital disease that Picard suffers from, and Jack has to come to terms with this. The majority of this episode is focused around the crew of the Titan needing to get on board Daystrom Institute. They need to get on board with the key that they got from the last episode to find out exactly what was stolen, to get the manifest of that station, so they know what was stolen from there by the changelings. Now, this means 3 people beam over, that being Worf, Raffi and Riker. They go on board to find this information that's required. At the same time, Starfleet turn up, and Picard et al. Have to run away, basically, and hide. And this leads them to Geordi LaForge at basically what is the Federation Museum, where we've got loads of other vessels, and we get to see all these other vessels, or a lot of them anyway. We get to see Kirk's Enterprise, the Constitution class. We get to see the USS Voyager, we get to see the USS Defiant, a lot of callbacks to old stuff, which is fantastic, and it really makes you feel like this is invested in Star Trek. Not only that, on board the Daystrom Institute we get stuff like the Genesis Project. We get what could be the body of James T. Kirk, a trill that's been changed into some horrible alien-esque type of creature that you wouldn't want to see on a dark night. On board or inside, there's so much going on. Jesus Christ. Inside Starfleet Museum, obviously Geordi LaForge, he gets introduced into the fray. There's so many characters. Worf comes back on board the ship. Obviously at Daystrom they come to find Data. They come to find a new version of Data. I don't really want to go too much into the story beyond this. There's so many surprises. It's fantastic. But let me talk about the episode and my thoughts on the episode. Okay, wow, finally Star Trek Picard has... It's running now, it really is. We've had a couple of good episodes behind us. I don't really want to compare it to Star Trek Picard seasons 1 and 2. This is night and day stuff. This is night and day writing. There's so much good stuff in this episode going on. The stakes are high, you know, the effects are great. The nostalgia is just, as a Star Trek fan, it just hits home for you. There's so much that they're doing right in this. I loved the Data stuff. I mean, I didn't think they'd be able to convincingly bring Data back, but to find out that, you know, Sung has been working on a new version of Data, but it incorporates lore, it incorporates before, it incorporates Data, it incorporates Sung. This is fantastic, and this Data is more akin to Picard and what Picard is now. So it's nice that they are sort of not forgotten about that story plot point from season 1. Not that I really like that story plot point, but it's great that they're harking back to it. The Data stuff was fantastic. It was fantastic. It was a well thought out, convincing way of bringing this character back. And I like the way that he flits between the Data's. Obviously, we also get the stuff with Moriarty. Now, Moriarty played a big part in the advertising campaign for this series, but he's only there for a short amount of time. Not that that detracts from that. It is great, and again, callbacks to Encounter at Farpoint and Riker's first meeting with Data, all fantastic stuff. And the Moriarty stuff comes out of the mind of Data. At first, I thought it might have been Section 1 utilising the Moriarty thing as a security hologram, so to speak, using him. And I thought that has been quite an interesting prospect, but no, it was coming out of the mind of Data using him, which again, fantastic because of those callbacks. Strong stuff. There's some great scenes between Jack and LaForge's daughter, hinting at a possible romance. I think that's good. I like that. And yes, wow, this episode, I need to watch it again. I really do. So much going on. We do come to find out at the end that which was stolen from Dayston Institute was actually Picard's body. Yeah, the proper body of Picard has been stolen. Why? I don't know. Why would you want that body? Questions. Now, at the end, we find that Riker has been taken. He didn't make it out of Daystrom Institute. He's on board the Shriek. They need him to get to Picard. And lo and behold, this is how Beverly Crusher comes in. Not Beverly Crusher. Deanna Troi comes into it. My mind. She comes into it this way because they've gone and they've got her. And this puts Riker in a bit of turmoil, obviously, and the episode sort of ends there. So some fantastic stuff. There's so much, seriously, there's so much, and so much that I could probably miss to talk about. Wow. What a fantastic episode. Captain Shaw, him geeking out over Geordie LaForge, fantastic. And even Captain Shaw, I do like him as a character, and I hope that he stays the path that he's on now. Because like I said previously in previous reviews, there's been a sort of flit around in the writing for him, which I haven't been too happy about, character changes. But if they keep to the path they're on with him, fantastic, brilliant stuff. A really good episode, a strong episode. But what I really like to know is what you think of it. Have I missed anything? Let me know down below. I really need to go and give it another, and I'm going to go and give it another watch right now. I'm going to give it a second watch. It deserves it. It was fantastic. It was great. And yes, that bounty did come into play, as we know. Fantastic stuff. So many callbacks, so many characters brought into the fray. Feels like Next Generation again. It really does. Anyway, this is AJ. Thanks for watching. Please remember, hit the subscribe button. Come and join the channel. Let's talk Star Trek. Leave a comment down below. Let's get a nice conversation going. That's the most important thing here. This is a place for you to come and talk Star Trek. So let's do it. And I'll see you next week.